Alright, this video is going to walk you through how to create a box and whisker plot. And so you're going to be given a set of data. So these are all separate numbers, some type of data that is given. And we're going to create a box and whisker plot. So the first thing you're going to do is take the set of data that you have and you're going to put it in order from the smallest number to the largest number. And so what I usually do is I'll look for the smallest number. And I'll cross it off, and then as you write, just cross them off. So 2, my next number would be 3, and there are 2 3s. And then we have 2 4s. There are 2 5s. There are 2 6s. There are 2 7s. There is 1 8 and 1 9. Okay, and sometimes what's easier to do is just to count the number of numbers you have in your original set and just make sure you have the same in your second set. And so I can kind of see that mine align. And so that's one thing that you could do. You can kind of try to align them so you could see that if there's one extra here, then you missed a number somewhere here. All right, and so now my numbers are in order, so I'm no longer going to regard that top line. I'm just going to look here. And the first thing I'm going to find is my median. And so we talked about median, and your median is your middle number. And so what we did was we just crossed off 1 on each side. I'm not going to actually cross them off because we're going to need to cross off numbers later. And so I'm just going to kind of go, here's 1 on both sides, here's the second one, and just go in 1 by 1 on each side. And so my middle number is 5 in this case, and this is my median. Okay, so your median is your middle number. And so this set of data, right, is going to be my lower set of numbers, and this set is going to be my upper set of numbers. Okay, and so what you're going to do now is I'm going to find the median or the middle number of my lower set and the middle number of my upper set. And so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the pen and I'm going to cross off from here to here. And now you can actually cross off. So 1 on each side, 1 on each side. And then here, if I cross off 1 on each side, there's no more numbers left. And so what you do in that case, my middle number would be somewhere here. And so just like we did when we found the median, if this case arises, you will take the average of these two numbers. So if I add 3 and 4, I get 7. And I divide by 2, it gives me it gives me 3.5. And so 3.5 goes here. That's the middle of this lower set of numbers. And then I'm going to cross off on my other side. And then the same thing happens, right? Where if I cross off, my middle number would be here. And so 7 plus 7 is 14, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay? All right, and so these numbers have some type of significance. This median number, it's your middle number, right? It's the middle number for the set of data that you have. This 3.5 is called Q1, which is really your quartile 1. Okay, so my quartile 1 or my first quartile is 3.5. This is going to be Q3, and your median is also called Q2. So quartile 2, or your second quartile, is going to be 5, and your third quartile, or quartile 3, is going to be 7. Okay, and so these are the important parts of your box and whisker plot. Okay, my minimum, which is your smallest number, is going to be 2, and your maximum is going to be 9. Your maximum is your largest number, your minimum is your smallest number. And so I'm going to create a little mini box and whisker plot here. Okay, and your box and whisker plot has 5 lines. 1 line at your minimum, 1 line at your maximum, okay, a line at your median, which is also your second quartile, a line in the median of your lower set of numbers, a line in the median of your upper set of numbers. Okay, and so your box and whisker plot will ultimately look like this. Okay, this is not your official one because your actual box and whisker plot needs to go onto a number line. And so I'm going to create my number line. I need to go from 2 to 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And remember, when you're labeling your axes, your intervals need to be spaced out evenly, as even as possible. And so here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so I'm going to draw a line just like I did up here. I'm going to draw a line at each of these key places. So my minimum, my maximum, okay, your quartile 1, which is 3.5, it's right between 3 and 4. Your quartile 2, which is at 5, and then your third quartile at 7. Okay, and so you connect these two, you connect these two, so your first two and your last two, and this middle part connects to be your box. And so here's your box, and these two are considered your whiskers. And so this is your box and whisker plot. So every question that you do, you need to order your numbers from smallest to largest, find your median, and then separate your data. So you have your lower set and your upper set. Find the median of your lower set, that's going to be Q1. Find the median of your upper set, that's going to be Q3. And then your median of the whole set, or that middle space, is going to be your actual median, which is Q2. Okay, so make sure that for all of the questions that you do, you put them in order, you label them, you write them out. So this set of numbers needs to be written out for each of the questions that you do, and then you create your box and whisker plot. Okay, the only other or additional piece of information that